Alright, Shalom Akim. I like to say Kahalayim, Wahawadla, Yahweh Shai, Basha Makakodash, that belongs to the apostles and others of great millstone real well. Peace and blessings to the Akim around the world that push this truth to the four corners of the earth. Right, this is your Abba from the GMS Trinidad East Camp. I said I'll do a small touch, a time he was out on the streets and a guy was talking, some Muslim guy came up and he was talking about how Abraham was a Muslim and Moses was a Muslim. I know I had a slip of the tongue at that point in time because I was telling them that I made a mistake and I said that Abraham was from the tribe of Levi, but it's really Moses I was talking about, but I kind of mixed them up while I was explaining it to him. You understand? But I was trying to explain to him that Moses was from the tribe of Levi, which was one of the tribes of Israel, and Abraham, even before that, he wasn't no Muslim. You understand? Islam didn't even exist back in those days, right? He came out from one of the lineages of Shem, and back then they used to take part in heathen customs and so forth and idolatry. You understand? The Lord separated him from that. I'm go through some scriptures. I'll bring up some little facts after. It said these are the Genesis 11 verse 10. It said these are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. Right? You see, and Shem lived and he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. Right, they're showing you how long men used to live back then. Like I want to talk about it second is just to say even like he was telling the angel telling us just even though are less in stature than the ones that were before thee, and the ones that come after thee will be even less in stature than you. I will see men now, they don't even live as nowhere close to the age men used to live long ago. Right? See verse 14, it says, and Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. Right? Let me go down a little bit. No, this is the generations coming down, right? I'll start from 25. It's saying, and Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. It said now these are the generations of Terah, which was Abraham's father, right? Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. Right? And we know about Abram who name was changed to Abraham, and Lot, right, who was in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah when the angel come and warned them before it was destroyed. It says Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees, right? So they were living in an off place. All right, and Abraham and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abraham's wife, Salakia, was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah, right? It say, but Sarai was barren, she had no child. It say, and Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, right, his son's son, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Right, so the Lord already started his separation. He done separate him from his father. Yes, and his father was gone. It said now, Genesis 12 verse 1, it said, now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto the land that I will show thee. You understand? And who was talking to him? It wasn't Allah. You understand? It was Yahweh, which is the Most High's name in Hebrew. You understand? The Most High's name in Hebrew is Yahweh, and the Son's name in Hebrew is Yahushai. And that's who was speaking to him. And what he tell him to do, he tell him to get himself from there. Because that even something that the Lord does do with us even today. He does separate us from the ungodly. You understand? But back then he used to separate them physically, and in these days he has separate us mentally. You understand? So the first thing was to do was separate him from everybody. Verse 2 is say, and I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And what our song is like, when you go back to the blessings and cursings of Israel, it's the same thing. You understand? That even showing you who it was really ordained for. That is why the scripture is saying, let's see, Genesis 12:2. That's why it's saying, is in Exodus 3. In Exodus 3 verse 15, it say, and Yahweh said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt say unto the children of Israel, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, not Ishmael, the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob have sent me unto you. Why? Because that is where the lineage was. From Abraham it went to Isaac, and from Isaac it went to Jacob, whose name was Israel, and his 12 sons are the ones that receive the promise, the inheritance, right? And there's a cut for people like to talk about, it was for Ishmael, but we know that they just read the Quran, and the Quran was written for their belief, to suit their belief. You understand? We had to change to suit the Bible's views. You understand? But the Quran was written to suit the views of whoever it is written, which was Muhammad. All right, and that is what they go by. Right, verse 3 say, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. And the apostles was talking about this because Israel will be scattered throughout all nations. Already and truly, ultimately, is Israel that received the birthright blessing, as in the highest blessing. In the end, in the kingdom, when the other nations get back their land and stuff, they will have their own little bountifulness going on, but it wouldn't be nowhere close to Israel's, right? Because we had the blessing of the firstborn, right? So Abraham departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So there's when his journey now starts, and it was 25 years after, I believe it was when he was 100 years old. You understand? Is when he made is when he got Isaac, right? And you could go more down into the story. I wouldn't go into the whole story, just go into certain main parts, but just showing you that he wasn't no Muslim, and everybody didn't used to practice Islam back then. You understand? I have a next thing here to bring out. It's the origins on Islam. It say although its roots go back further, because Islam came from Ishmaelites, right? It's from Ishmael is where the belief of Islam came out, right? Right. You say although its roots go back further, scholars typically date the creation of Islam to the 70th century, making it the youngest of the major world religions. You understand? Because it's a recent thing. It didn't go all the way back to after the flood. You understand? It was in these modern times. Well, not as modern now, but in the time when Muhammad around Muhammad's time frame is when Islam was created. It wasn't created before that. Even some of the scriptures in Islam belief came from the scriptures, the holy scriptures, and it was just adopted and just made small changes to it, right? They say making it the youngest of the major world religions. They say Islam started in Mecca, in modern day Saudi Arabia, during the time of the Prophet Muhammad's life. And I was seeing some reading about certain points in the Islamic faith, and I was talking about how it is that you can't originally a person of Islam not supposed to be harsh or be biased towards Christians or so forth, because as the saying goes, it was the Catholic belief, the Catholic churches who funded Muhammad to actually have the things that he had. So back in that time, he was actually pushing the alliance between Christians, which is Catholics, and Muslim people. It's only now that there's see little wars between them and there's be hostile towards each other. But back then, they had that kind of alliance because they were the ones that helped him to rise to power. He just happened to escalate to the point where Islam became so powerful they couldn't just overthrow it naturally. Right? Because it grew, it became very large, especially for a belief that was so recent. It didn't go back all the way back to the Roman times, when Rome was ruling and so forth. It didn't go all the way back or even further than that. Right? It said during the time of the Prophet Muhammad's life, I believe when I searched it once, the first time I searched it said that the Quran was written around 550 AD. And then the next time I searched it today, it was saying 6 something AD. So I don't know exactly which one it was, but it said that he started writing it when he was 40, and I think he died about 20 years after. That's how long it actually took to be written. Somewhere around 22 to 23 years it took for it to be written, and then he died. So I don't know if he lived longer, if it would have had more to the Quran. I don't know. It said today the faith is spread rapidly throughout the world. Why? Because that's one of the broad ways to destruction that the Lord actually creates. Because a lot of our people has actually get caught up in Islam. And just like Islam, if they really went according to the ordinance of the scriptures, then they would be teaching that only the descendants of Ishmael should be able to get the promise. Because that is what the promise is for, right? For whoever it is the firstborn, or whoever it is had the blessing or so forth. Just like how we just teach that the promise is for Israel because we received the birthright. So if Islam really was according to how it really supposed to be, they should be teaching that it's for whoever it is from the nation of Ishmael. They are the ones who would receive the promise, which was supposed to be the kingdom. But they don't even teach that. You understand? They make collaborations with Christians, and they have other people from other nations joining them. They even, in the past, they even used to force people to join. And if they didn't want to join, they would be put to death. Israel never do no shit like that. We always used to want to be by ourselves. We might hire people for certain things, but we always had that separation. You understand? I'm just showing you. Let's say I'll go through a few points to show that what the guy was talking about was rubbish. You know, Abraham was no Muslim. Moses was no Muslim. If you even ask majority of them about the origins of what they believe, majority of them can't even answer you. But it makes sense to them. You know? Anyway, I hope it was edifying in some way. You know, it always have more extensive research you could go into. Like I was reading sometime about Muhammad's life himself, you know, and certain things that he did, who he had collaborations with. Like I talk about the collaboration with the Catholic Church and so forth. I did some reading on it. You know, but if Muhammad's life was really the divine life that was walked, then if that the case, they would not say BC and AD. They would name it to suit Muhammad's birth and Muhammad's death. You understand? But why it is based time on Yahweh Shai's life and Yahweh Shai's death? That we get BC from. BC is before Christ. And AD is Anno Domini, which means the birth of our Lord. There's even used the Lord's birth to tell time. So why does do that if they really don't believe that the Lord existed? It's because they know he existed. And Esau knows these things. That's why he has do things to try to cover it up. But you never had seen nothing special about Muhammad. But like I say, it have extensive research that you could go into, you know, in different particular things to show that, you know, like more detailed information about him. I just wanted to get like the main points out, right? Where Abraham came out from, and the Lord actually came and spoke to him, and, you know, and guided him to go, you know, and then he gave him he promised him the land and so forth. And then he had the situation with Lot and Sodom, and then that to go to war, and all these different things. You understand? And like I said, I hope it was edifying. And with that, I'd like to say Kal Halayim, Wahawadla, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, double on the apostles, and elders of great millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings to the Akim and only will that pushes you to the four corners of the earth, right? Shalom.